Upon assuming your position, and each year thereafter, you will need to complete and submit a Form 700, a Statement of Economic Interests. This can be done electronically or in hard copy to the City Clerk's office. You can find instructions on how to set up and file your Form 700 electronically on the City's online filing portal, NetFile. Form 700. What is it? A Form 700 is a document that includes certain details about your personal finances that could become a source of conflict for you in your city service. Allows members of the public to monitor the financial interests of a public servant. Helps public servants to be aware of their own potential conflicts. When must it be filed? Within 30 days of assuming or leaving office. April 1st every year, covering the preceding calendar year. What must you disclose on your Form 700? It depends on your disclosure category and items relevant to your work decisions. What to disclose on the form. To complete the Form 700, review your disclosure category in the city's Conflict of Interest Code. The code provides a list of positions required to file a Form 700 and includes disclosure category numbers relevant for each position. Positions are listed by department and will reference disclosure category numbers between 1 and 18. Once you know your disclosure category number, check the code's index to see what is required to be disclosed for your category. For example, all citywide agency, department, division directors are listed as Disclosure Category 1. This means that they must disclose all investments and business positions in business entities, sources of income, and interests in real property. Check out the city's Conflict of Interest Code to see what your disclosure category is. If the Conflict of Interest Code assigns you to Disclosure Category 1, 2, or 3, you will generally have to disclose all investments and business positions in which you are a director, officer, partner, trustee, employee, or hold any position in management, as well as sources of income, interest in real property, and gifts from reportable sources. Generally, only those interests that are located in or have done or will do business in Oakland are reportable. If the Conflict of Interest Code assigns you to a disclosure category other than 1, 2, or 3, you will have to disclose a narrower range of information, which varies based on your position and your department. Persons in these categories shall disclose investments and business positions in business entities and income more specifically limited to certain sources, types of services, or supplies, or other industry-specific restrictions. And note, unless your disclosure category specifically says otherwise, you are required to disclose not just your own economic interests, but the economic interests of your spouse and immediate family. Immediate family includes your spouse, domestic partner, and dependent children. However, there are some economic interests, such as gifts and non-community property income, where you don't have to report the interests of your spouse or domestic partner. For example, a Program Analyst 3 position in the City Administrator's Office is in Disclosure Category 13, requiring the individual in that position to disclose investments and business positions in and income from business entities providing supplies, service equipment, or machinery of the type used by the city. On the other hand, a Program Analyst 3 position in the Department of Housing and Community Development is in Disclosure Category 1, requiring the individual in that position to disclose all investments and business positions in business entities, sources of income, and interests in real property. Make sure you check the city's Conflict of Interest Code to find out if your position is required to file a Form 700 and what financial interests you are required to disclose. If you have a question about what to report on your Form 700, contact the California Fair Political Practices Commission, or FPPC, And note, the California FPPC is responsible for the administration and enforcement of the Political Reform Act and also created the Form 700. The Oakland PEC can also enforce the Form 700 requirements. In addition, the hard copy of the Form 700, which can be found on the FPPC's website, includes helpful instructions on what and how to report specific financial interests.